How's it going, people? You're only going to get to see me half of me today. You're only going to get to see half of me today. Let me go this way. You're only going to get to see half.
Afternoon, folks.
Okay, the reason that we're in this situation here is there was a debate last night, and we were listening to it and stuff, and we just have some comments to make on it. What we're going to do is break this down into a four-parter. Let me fix my hair.
There was only four of them up there.
There's four of them up there, yeah. So we're going to give you a four-parter. We're going to do one show on each one of them. We're probably gonna have to do a couple with Kerry on a remote out by his house while I'm here. So but that's okay. It'll work out good because we have some decent equipment now.
We got new equipment, so we're good to go.
Okay, so
I even bought a new microphone.
What I have here now,
right?
Absolutely, I got one too. Yeah. Right.
We're ready.
Okay, so but we're getting to that. We're getting to the more technical stuff. Okay, so the first thing I got here, you can see Vivek Ramaswamy there. What's going to come up right now is Christie, and I want you to really listen to what he's going to say. What he's going to talk about is Donald Trump, because that's all he can talk about. Because
he has nothing else.
I don't need somebody to go after Donald Trump. I need somebody to go into that Oval Office, and I need them to understand how to produce energy, and I need them to understand how to bring down prices on fuel, inflation, and I need them to understand how to close the border.
Right.
And
close the border.
Yeah. And listen, before we get into the border shit, I'm going to tell you straight out, okay? Somebody posted something on Facebook that I saw, and it had a migrant sitting on a paint can. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say who it was, but you know who it was. Anyway, okay, so migrant sitting on a paint can. One side said, lazy immigrant, using taxpayers' money. And then the other side said, they're taking our jobs. So, and the idea was that it couldn't be both a lazy immigrant who is taking jobs. Well, first off, that's not true, okay? And I'll explain to you why it's not true. It's not true because most immigrant jobs are under the table, okay? And by under the table means they're tax-free. So they can then go and get, right, absolutely. So they can then go and get subsidies from welfare, from, food stamps, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying they're doing this, and I'm not saying they're lazy, and I'm just saying that people take that first thought into their head, and they're like, oh, shit, I got the answer. Oh, shit, I can, I got it, man. I know how to make these people shut up. You're not going to make them shut up. You're only going to make yourself look stupid.
Right.
My grandmother used to say, it's better to let people sit there and wonder if you're dumb than open your mouth and prove it. Okay?
That's right.
Okay, so anyway, the other thing I said about it was, I said, first off, asylum is not meant for people to come here wanting better lives. That's not what it is. That's not what asylum is for persecution problems. That's what it is. You're being persecuted, and your life is in danger. My life is in danger in New York. I take the subway. That doesn't mean.
I was just about to say, I'm here on the subway.
That doesn't mean that I deserve asylum, okay? Because I deserve to be a safer place, okay? So let's start there.
As a matter of fact, real quick, as you said that, just noticed they just showed a picture of more people that came in, all single men.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're all thanking Biden. But besides that, let's take it a step further now, okay? So, as I said, it's not about wanting a better life, okay? That's not what asylum is. That's what our immigration laws are for. You come, you apply, and you get it. You get a job. Now, if your first instinct is to come to this country and break a law, if that's the very, very first thing that you do,
and that's what they do,
I don't know what you're capable of doing as your second thing, and I don't know what you're capable of doing as your third thing. And as you find out that our laws are much easier than where you came from, and nobody's going to stone you to death, or nobody's going to,
they take advantage of it.
Then you're going to start feeling a little more freedom. And then I don't know where you're going to go.
And that's what's been going on. Because
now,
most of these immigrants who got free, there's been violence, there's been crime.
As good of a point as that, okay, as good of a point as that is, the next point is even better. Everybody knows somebody who came here to this country legally. Everybody knows that they took someone who took the time, took the citizenship test.
Our grandparents did.
Everybody knows that, okay? Everybody knows somebody. Go to them. Don't listen to me because I'm a natural citizen. I was born here.
I was born here.
Go to them and ask them what they think about illegal immigrants. And you know what they're going to tell you? They hate it because they took the time to do it right.
Right.
They took the time to do it right. So some guy is waiting 10 years to become a citizen, and some idiot is going to cross the border and take his spot tomorrow because he came here yesterday.
Right.
I mean, that's absurd.
They're running free. They're loose.
These people are waiting 10 years to get into this country.
Right.
10 years. And these people are just going to hop on a train and just, burst through the border, and all of a sudden they're citizens.
And Joe says
Go
it's
ask
okay.
the immigrants. Go ask the immigrants what they think
Right.
about it.
And Joe Biden says it's okay.
Joe Biden doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Okay, if you think that they're even letting him know, like the most feeble information, if you even think that he's getting that knowledge, you're crazy.
Crazy. He was just up there yesterday.
All they're doing when they walk into when they're around him is saying everything's great. Joe, it's fine. It's fine. I'm telling you, you're ahead in the polls. Everything's beautiful. Don't worry about it.
Like yesterday, he was up there. Literally,
I'm sorry.
saw his face. He went like this.
He has no idea.
He said the border's broken.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know what happened. He did it.
This is a guy who 3 years now has told you that the border is secure. Ask Mayorkas. Ask KJB.
Now he's saying.
Now we're coming up on an election, so they have to kind of they can't have him out there saying everything's fine because people know it's not fine.
Right.
Up until now, if he said that, you just said, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not fine. Now you say to yourself, well, there's an election coming. I can do something. So now he's got to turn around and blame somebody.
Right.
You know who he's going to blame? I'll tell you right now.
Republicans.
He's going to blame Trump. It's going to be Trump. Oh, well, he didn't.
He blamed him. He said my predecessor left it open.
Right.
He didn't.
He didn't. He was supposed to. As a matter of fact, you're going to hear Christie turn around in a few minutes and say that Trump had promised to be the biggest deporter of immigrants, and he didn't meet Obama's level. Well, Obama was known as the deporter in chief. He deported something like 14 million people. Okay, if you hadn't thrown a Russian fake story at Trump that he had to defend constantly, maybe if you didn't have women setting him up, maybe if you let him do the freaking job, it would have been done.
He was up on peaceful over a phone call. Maybe like you said, you just left the man
and you
alone.
know what the sickest part about this? There are people who turn around and goes, oh, he promised to build a wall, but he didn't. You're the same people who were trying to stop him from building the wall. Now all of a sudden, because he has a shot at beating you, now we should have had that wall. Right. You're nothing but hypocrites.
Right.
That's all you are.
That's all they are.
And believe me,
prove it right now.
I'll tell you right now, I could take I can't say that because I like Trump. I like him. I like him because he's a normal person. Okay, right. And I know you're going to go, normal person. You're not normal if you just said that, because you're a hypocrite, and you're a hypocrite because you're acting like you act differently when you're with your friends and stuff. Okay, right. If you're a woman and you've ever been to a strip club, I guarantee you, your mouth is worse than a sewer. I guarantee it.
Yo, remember our last one? We talked about that. We were walking the street one day in the village.
Oh, God.
This lady, talking to her friend, came out and said, well, I didn't suck his dick for, whatever. I mean.
And she was serious. She was like, I didn't suck his dick for that amount of time. Whatever it was. I forget what she said exactly.
She said, right down the street.
And it wasn't like a whisper. She yelled it. She yelled it. Okay? So don't play bullshit with me. You guys all want to be like, Mr. French from Family Family Affair, and you all want to be perfect, or you want to be Mr. Belvedere, you're not. You're human beings. We're all human beings. We all speak like that once in a while. The best was when Trump said about grabbing by the pussy. We had literal athletes turning around and going, "Oh, that's horrible." Put a mic in the locker room and see what's said about women after the game. See.
Right.
Anyway, so that's beyond the point.
And women say the same thing. Let me tell you something. You ever go to a bar, you hear the women talk about, oh
Absolutely.
My God, just go to a regular bar.
So here's where we're at. I believe I understand how to do this. Now, I could be wrong, so this might get taken down. I'm hoping it doesn't. From what I understand, you're allowed to use content as long as you're being critical about it or you're somehow adding to it, which creates transformational content, okay? Meaning that it's not the original copyrighted content. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I need, what I'm basically doing is using their words, and then I'm going to be commenting on their words is what it really comes down to.
That's all.
Let's give it a shot.
This is a debate from last night.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on right now, and you guys can check it out, see what you think. So,
Ramaswamy,
this
Haley,
is,
Christie, and DeSantis.
Yeah, and it's going to come, Christie's coming on right now.
Really?
Just
I'm usually not somebody who gets missed, but okay, let's go.
What's happening? Okay, I got you. Listen, you endorsed Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. You gave him an A for his first term. Since then, however, you've turned on him, calling him a liar, a loser, a con man, and someone who cannot win. You've even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump. His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%. Yours is at 25%. Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won. Respectfully, Governor, you have not stopped Mr. Trump, and voters may wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so let's stop it there for a second. Now, that was the question, as you can put it. Everything she said was factually correct. Okay, from the,
Right. The man
from
went
the
in.
percentages and so forth.
He supported him in 2016 and 2020. And now he's against him.
Now, here's the thing I want to point out. I want you to listen to what he's going to say next. She turned around and she said that you're running strictly to take down Donald Trump. Now, I don't want a president who's strictly after somebody. Okay, I had a president that everybody was after, and that didn't work. It actually worked pretty well, but it could have worked a lot better. I want somebody who is going to try to make the country better. That's my
And make us
judgment.
feel safer.
This guy has nothing but
There's hatred.
yeah, he's like a spoiled
Ignorance.
child.
Right. Ignorance and hatred.
I can tell you this, just from his body language and stuff, his hatred towards Trump isn't even real. It's not even real. He's upset with him. Trump must have promised him something when he was like aboard his campaign or something, and then Christie screwed it up somehow. And because Trump is pretty good about giving up what he says he's going to do for you.
Right.
So he must have screwed it up, and that burned Christie's butt. Okay, so I'm going to put it back now, and I'm going to let you hear what Christie's response is to it, and then I'm going to stop it and come back in. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can do this.
oh, look, Megan, it's often very difficult to be the only person on the stage who's telling the truth. And the only person.
Okay, so let's stop there for a second.
You just say he was going to tell you.
He's the only person who's telling the truth. Okay,
I'm a lie right there.
I'm going to tell you honestly. Okay, someone who says that, first off, there's 3 other people on there, and if you're saying that you're the only one telling the truth, you're saying that everything out of their mouths is a lie, which is absurd. Okay, it's an absurd thought. All right, because they're up there for the same reason. And if you want to get technical, if you watch the debate, which we'll get to in another part, but Vivek actually has an extremely accurate set of facts pertaining to Nikki Haley, pertaining to all of them.
Right. True facts.
I mean, that's the truth.
Facts, people.
And he has a really good staff that looks shit up, and that's the way it is. This guy here,
Right, do your research.
I'm not being funny. I swear to you, I'm not being funny. But this guy really has no interest in doing research. This guy enjoys a certain lifestyle, and I don't want to say it's opulent because it's not rich, but it's spoiled. Okay, you could not be that size and not be spoiled.
Right.
Because if you're that size, it means that you have very little control. All right, very little control over your food, over your lifestyle. All right. Let's get back to what he was saying. I just really don't like this guy.
Person who is taking on what needs to be taken on. I look at my watch now. We're 17 minutes into this debate, and except for your little speech in the beginning, we've had these 3 acting as if the race is between the 4 of us. The 5th guy, who doesn't have the guts to show up and stand here, he's the one who, as you just put it, is way ahead in the polls. And yet I've got these 3 guys who are all seemingly to compete with, Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
Okay, so now let's get to that. So now he just insulted him with Voldemort, he was not to be named, blah, blah,
And I
blah.
like when he said he hasn't had the guts. First of all, he doesn't have the guts to go up there. He doesn't have to prove anything up there.
Do you know how much guts it takes to let 4 people go on stage and talk about you and not answer them? Do you know how much guts that takes? How much self-confidence it takes to allow this guy can't
How
have
much guts when everybody was after him while he was president, and he still ran.
No, but even so, he knows that these 4 people are going to do nothing but badmouth him. Yet he doesn't care because he's not worried about what you think of him. He's worried about what he can do for you. Okay, that's number 1.
You don't care.
But listen to this guy. It has nothing to do with the United States presidency. His whole thing is about hatred for Trump.
That's it.
Nothing more.
That's it. You
So-
just listen to him, right?
If you're considering voting for him, you're really voting for a nothing president because he knows nothing about what to do. He has no international chops, which means he has no international dealings with really anyone. I mean, he's never dealt with the kings, with the princes, with Arabia, with this. He's never dealt with Iran. He's never dealt with any of these things. Okay, he's never had to deal with border issues.
No.
He's never had to deal with.
Nope.
I mean, maybe you could say a budget. You know, maybe he has some
that's
budget
it.
issues,
New
some
Jersey
financial.
government,
Maybe.
that's all budget, right?
But to compare New Jersey's budget to the United States, and when you're talking about international debt, New Jersey doesn't have an international debt. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have 34 trillion.
Yeah. So it's not for him to claim he could do something about the $3 trillion in credit card debt at this point by revamping our inflationary situation would be absurd. Okay. The guy is a total moron.
He's a waste.
Okay?
He's only got 3%, by the way. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, him and the guy Phil, what's his name? The other guy, the guy who actually took his place.
Oh, Phil Murphy.
Phil
Another
Murphy.
piece of crap.
They're both mobbed up to some degree.
Yes.
Okay, they're both somehow connected with organized crime. Phil Murphy especially. This guy maybe not so much, but he's definitely in there. Okay.
Most just ruined the
most Jersey politicians are. Okay. All right.
Jersey's
let's
ruined
get back
people.
to this.
They don't want to talk about it. The fact is that when you go and you say the truth about somebody who is a dictator, a bully, who has taken shots at everybody, whether they've given him great service or not.
Now, who do you think he was just talking about when he said that? Whether they've given him great service or not. Who do you think he was talking about?
Voldemort.
No, he was talking about himself.
Right.
He considers himself to have been loyal to Trump, and whatever Trump did, that's what threw him off. Okay,
Right.
That's the whole mob mentality,
Right.
the mobster mentality, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's like, once you mess up, that's it. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. Here's the rose. Here's the kiss on the cheek. Here's the
And first of all, Trump is not a dictator. He was never a dictator. And
under Trump's term, everybody, and I mean everybody, was up financially, securely,
right. Inflation was down,
and
everybody was
just
living.
Getting better.
Everybody was living.
It was just getting better.
And
That's all it was.
You don't have to listen to us. Just ask around the country. Ask anybody. Watch the news. Watch look it up.
Look up the
People tell you they were better 5 years ago.
Hey, you know what? Go to Google right now and type in what year was the best year economically for African Americans, as far as occupationally speaking.
Good one.
Look up what year was the best year for Latin Americans
Right.
occupationally.
Mm-hmm. Right, the Latin community.
What year did
right.
these people have most jobs? What year was the best year for transgender to have jobs? What year? Everybody.
We'll tell
Everybody.
you 5 years ago.
Everybody was up. Everybody. Your IRAs go
401.
up about 40%, give or take.
401k.
Right, give 40%, give or take. So this guy's a bunch of bullshit in a very large package. That's all it is. He's literally like 300 pounds of bullshit in a 290-pound package, and he's ready to burst.
Right.
Okay. And listen,
He's losing.
I'm going to be nice.
Close.
He's
He's not even close to those three.
My background is in fitness. Okay. And at 60, I've got like a six-pack, so I'm going to try to help him out a little bit. And Chris, the way to lose weight, the best way to lose weight is when you go to dinner, take a second empty plate with you. And when you fix your normal plate, take a third of everything off and put it on the other plate. Okay? Eat the first plate, wait 10 minutes. And if you want the other plate, eat it. You probably won't because it takes the body about 10 minutes to figure out that it's full. Okay? And you'll lose weight. And it's not something you have to really, really work at because you have to change everything.
Right.
Just a little, constructive advice.
For your own health, there, Mr.
Okay, so, and it shows you, I don't have anything personally against you. It's just you're an idiot sometimes. Anyway, okay, so let's go to the next part. Here we go.
Over time, who dares to disagree with him, then I understand why these three are timid to say anything about it. Maybe it's because they have future aspirations. Maybe those future aspirations are now, or maybe they're 4 years from now.
Okay, so what he's basically saying is that none of them are going, and he's the same. The only difference is he knows he has no shot at Trump picking him. None. So he's going to be that much more.
Of a pain in the edge.
Yeah, that much more.
Right.
Nikki Haley, she has a really good shot at it. And I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm going to burp, man. I just had some soda. Excuse me. Anyway, so Nikki Haley has a good shot at it because she's a female. And that would really boost his favor with females. The bad thing about her, she's extremely connected to China. And Trump doesn't want to deal with that. Okay, that's not Trump's thing.
Right. She's connected
that-
to China.
that's not his
Everything
thing.
that Ramaswamy said
It's
about her is
absolutely
all
true.
facts.
Yeah, we'll
and
get
true.
to that. Oh yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Ramaswamy, I don't think they could get along. Okay, I would vote for Ramaswamy after 4 years with Trump. If he was Trump's vice president, I would then vote for him in 4 years. But the way he is now,
yeah.
he's
Like
nothing
a
more.
child.
He's just a spoiled kid. That's it. He's a spoiled kid. And he's a very successful spoiled kid. Let's put it that way. I'm not insulting him. Believe me.
No, listen. You work hard. You make your own business.
Yeah,
God bless you.
He's used to getting his own way.
Right.
You know, it's like Elon Musk can turn around and tell like Disney, go fuck yourself, because he's got enough money to do it. You can't make him a vice president because he's too powerful, and he could never take a back seat to somebody like that. And Ramaswamy is very close to that, so it's very similar.
DeSantis is like a baby too.
DeSantis, to tell you the truth,
Not me.
DeSantis wouldn't even be here, except that he got lucky on a lot of situations. He got lucky with Florida schools during the pandemic. He got lucky with, he basically held his own. I'm not going to say he didn't. But he's not what we need in terms of strength. He's a kid, and that's the way they'll view him. That's the way Putin will view him. That's the way.
Right.
The only one who might is Trudeau. He might accept them as they're
He's
similar
a
guys.
kid himself.
Yeah, they're
Right.
similar guys.
This is what you have to understand when you go out there and vote, people, is that they're all good certain ways, but you have to deal with world leaders.
Yeah, you have
the only one I could deal. And look at the world we're in now. We're in World War III. And it's funny. I'm sorry. It's funny that Christie calls Trump a dictator. Meanwhile, the dictator's in office right now.
Right, exactly. But like, I'm gonna say something, and people are gonna go, "Oh, he's comparing Trump to a diamond." No, I'm comparing our president to what they must be, which is they have to be a diamond. And by that I mean they have to have multiple facets. They have to have different faces they can put on for different situations.
Right.
Okay. What we have in there right now is nothing more than an adult who has the same face for every situation, and that's because he's not in charge. Okay. The people who are in charge are his handlers. The same people who change his sneakers because they don't want him tripping. I mean, they took his shoes because they don't want him tripping again. Come on. I mean, really, think about that. But what I'm saying is, no, really.
I can't help but laugh, but they took the man's shoes.
They took his shoes in an effort to stop him from falling.
They said they were coming up with something to help him so he doesn't fall. I mean, come on.
I'm surprised they didn't give him like those Oscar Pistorius, those blades, to try to like put him on a rocking chair, But
the guy's going to get assassinated by stairs.
So my comparison to the diamond is absolutely.
He's just supposed to be assassinated by stairs.
The first set of stairs had 3 shots at him. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that a president has to have multiple faces they can put on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a great example, George Bush, okay, with 9/11. You can't have the same guy, handling 9/11 that you had handling a stock market issue,
right?
Okay, because there's got to be more empathy involved. There's got to be. Trump gets that, okay? Trump. You also can't have the same guy going to England and dealing with the king, and kissing his ass, or dealing with Xi and kissing his ass, by cleaning up California before he gets there, or
right.
You can't have this.
When they came here, that whole area was cleaned up down, and they had all the immigrants.
And within a day, they're back to where they were.
Right.
It's back the way it was.
Right.
Anyway,
so
that's why I say
that's a good one to bring up in California, because he cleaned it all up for them. But meanwhile, all the Americans have to sit in that.
But that's my issue.
Newsom's another piece of shit, people.
Newsom should have never even went into politics. He should have been a Jim Baker. He should have been a television
preacher,
evangelist. That's what he should have
been.
He looks just like one. He talks like one. He acts like one.
If anybody watched that debate against him against
DeSantis, that was fantastic. That was. If you want us to go into that, we'll go over that at some point.
Newsom all he did was lie the whole time.
And if you watch, he makes a face, and I'm gonna give you that. I don't know if I can do it. I'm gonna try. But when Newsom is lying, he makes that face like he's incredulous at what you're saying. So it's like. And then you add, oh, you can't see that. I'm sorry. Let me come over this way. Let me try it again. It's like.
Yeah, he does that and he goes, that's his face, yep.
That's his face. When you see that, he's lying. Nikki Haley, when she looks down at the ground with her eyes like this and gives you that little like smirk, she's lying, okay? Chris Christie, he's just lying. There's no freaking, he just spurts the lie. Ramaswamy doesn't lie, but what he does is he exaggerates. Okay, he exaggerates the situation. Out of the 4 of them, Ramaswamy is probably the most honest.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's because he's spoiled. He's a spoiled child, and spoiled children don't think they have to make excuses for anything. So he's probably the most honest. All right, let's get back to this now.
But the fact of the matter is, the truth needs to be told. And for us
You
to
know
go
the truth if
17
it's slapped you
minutes
in the face.
without discussing the guy
You don't know what
who
it is.
has all those gaudy numbers
All
you
right,
talked
stop.
about is ridiculous. I'm in this race because the truth needs to be spoken. He is
But
unfit.
that's not why you're supposed to be in the
This is a
race.
guy who just said this past.
Stop. I got to stop. You're not in this race to speak the truth. This isn't a fucking court case, okay? You're not being deposed. You're not subpoenaed to get up on the this job is for the presidency of the United States.
Right, you're not telling
You're
us what
supposed to
gonna do.
take care of 33 billion people. Or 33 million. 33.
Right.
Well, whatever it
Well,
is.
we
I
don't
don't
have
give a
that
crap.
by now with all these immigrants.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't give a crap.
So
So
you're supposed to take care of the American
that's what it's
people.
about. It's not about telling the truth. Whatever you're going to say, first off, nobody's going to believe, number one. Number two, our lives and our futures is not the persecution of Donald Trump. Our lives and our futures is food. It's housing.
Housing.
It's money. It's fuel. That's our lives. Not whether you are happy with the way you treated Trump or not.
Right.
Not whether you're
Right. We need jobs.
give me another word for male genital that I can use on here.
Wow.
Not that you're wanky. Ah, there we go. That's a cute one too.
Okay.
I was gonna use a really dirty one, but I'm gonna do it. Not that your wanky gets hard because you feel like you got one up on Trump. That's not a reason to run for president.
Right.
All right. The reason to run for president is to make everybody's life better.
Right. And
That's why Trump is running.
and deal with world leaders that won't hurt us.
Idiot.
As a matter of fact, as of today, as everybody knows, 4 years ago, we're at a terrorist risk. We're at because of this.
The only reason the world's in a situation comes down to one thing.
Power.
One thing. Okay. Another guy posted something on Facebook I saw, and he said, "It's funny. I feel like America's gotten darker over the past 3 years." And I turned around and said, "It has. It absolutely has. There's no inspiration. There's no aspiration. There's none of this. And the reason is because nobody knows where the next dollar is coming from.
Right.
Nobody knows if we're going to have baby food. No one knows what the next war is going to be.
Right.
Okay,
But
so
hey,
it is dark. It is dismal.
Right. I watched a report. They showed two people. They both work.
Oh,
They
yeah,
both-
I know about this.
Right, they
Yeah, I know.
both
The
work.
she's an RN, and he's
Right.
a fireman.
And they had to go dip into their savings.
Right. And they don't know how they're going to make it. They're down to like their last couple of $1,000s, and that's it. And they had like 3 or 4.
Two people working.
They had a bumper of 3 or 4 months that they could live if they both lost their jobs. Now, these are 2 workers, not just workers, 2 occupationally correct working. I mean, you're talking about a fireman.
Emergency workers.
Right.
Right.
They're not making minimum wage, okay? So they're making the upper echelon of the money. So they're, minimally, let's say 40 an hour. Minimally. It's probably more than that, but let's say 40 an hour times 2 people working a 40-hour week, which RNs and firefighters work overtime a lot, which is time and a half.
Right.
So even all of this put together, they can't make ends meet.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
A lot of people are dipping into their savings, so we all are too.
So
everybody
when
is.
this moron over here turns around and tells you, "I'm here to tell the truth about Donald Trump,"
No, you
realize that has nothing to do with the election.
And if he is telling the truth about Donald Trump, we would say he was a good president
If
for
you've
the
got
last 4 years.
right, if you've got a real issue with Trump, you know what you do? Take him to court. That's what everybody else did. Take him to court. Don't run for president. Running for president has absolutely nothing to do with your vendetta against Trump. That's it.
That's it.
All right, let's go back and see what else he has to say.
Week that he wants to use the Department of Justice to go after his enemies when he gets in there. And the fact of the matter is, he is unfit to be president.
No, he's not.
Again, not true. Never said one thing about that. He could care less. And
He's
listen,
not going after anybody.
the only thing he might do is revamp the FBI and CIA because of all the
They're corrupt.
corruption that's
Right.
going on. That's possible. But DeSantis said he would do that. There really has been no person that hasn't said it.
I
Ramaswamy
think
said he
he
would
said
do
it
it.
too a while back if he said it.
Oh, yeah, back when it was going on.
Right.
But now it's a different story because now he doesn't like Trump, so it's a different story. So now he can't turn around and go to Hillary's side, but he wants to get there quick.
Right.
Anyway, but this guy's just a freaking moron. There's very few people that irritate me as much as this man.
This one, like my
Very
brother
few.
said, you have to worry about energy.
Here we go.
inflation,
And there is
food,
no bigger
housing.
issue in this race, Megan, than Donald Trump, and those numbers prove it.
Can you
Governor
believe that?
Christie,
If that's the issue
we
with
will
this
be
race,
addressing
Donald Trump.
that issue of Donald Trump in just a moment, but I'd like to first get to some questions on Israel. Governor DeSantis, tonight as we speak, the war
Hold
is
on,
back
pause
on
this.
in Gaza.
I'm gonna see if I can find something else. But this is kind of like what I'm saying. It's he has absolutely no idea of what's going. Let's see what he has to say about.
And then when you ask everybody else, all they do is blame Trump for this and that. No.
I don't even know what's
There's
going to happen.
one thing you need to do before buying
don't
anything
know where
online.
this is
Don't
gonna
spend
go.
another dime
Give me
on
a second.
Amazon until you watch.
Just so
Enough.
I'm
Okay,
literally
enough.
just pulling this up
Let
as,
me just
as we're
say
here.
something here. You know,
Remember now, we're
his
updating
reasonable peace
technology.
deal in Ukraine, he made it clear. Give them all the land they've already stolen. Promise Putin you'll never put Ukraine in Russia, and then trust Putin
This is what
not
he's
to have a
saying that
relationship with China.
Ramaswamy said.
Let me tell you something. That's no
That's not
reasonable.
my deal. That's not my deal.
Yes,
He
it's
never said
exactly
that.
what you
I'll
said.
describe
You
my
do
He never
this
said
at
any of
every
that.
debate.
I'll tell you exactly what it
no,
is.
don't
I'll
interrupt
tell
me.
you
I
what the
didn't
deal is.
interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I see. So
You-
that's okay. It's okay for you to be rude. Okay, that's perfectly okay. But no one can be rude to you.
Now, Chris Christie called him an obnoxious.
Why do you think Chris Christie just acted that way? Do you think it could be there's an age difference and he's trying to
bully him?
he's trying to overshadow him with like
Chris
a
Christie's
senior
a fucking
type?
bully.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he is. Listen to the way he talks to this man. First off, this man is a billionaire, okay, which means he's not dumb. He's not an idiot. You don't become a billionaire by becoming an idiot or by being an idiot, okay? This man is an intellectual. Don't get me wrong, he's spoiled rotten, okay? But he's got money, so he's spoiled rotten.
Right.
This guy, Christie, I guarantee you is not as well educated. I would almost bet it that Ramaswamy has a better education, okay? But what he's doing right now is he's trying to minimize, minimize
Talk him down like he's a child.
and he's making stuff up about him. Okay, that's the other thing. He's making stuff up about him.
Because Ramaswamy never
let's
said
listen.
anything like that.
Because he never said anything close to that. Let's see.
You
Tell
say
them
this,
about how you want to send our kids to die.
You
Go
do
for
this
it.
at every debate. You go out on the stump and you say something. All of us see it on video. We confront you out on the debate stage. You say you didn't say it, and then you back away. And I want to
I'll
say
tell you
what?
exactly
He didn't
what I
say it.
I'm not
Let him
done yet.
Well, this is
Now look,
Hold on.
I'm not done yet. It's a nice bully move, right? A nice bully move.
That's what bullies do.
What you say is, excuse me, allow me to finish, or you turn to the moderator and you say, can I please have the time to finish? Can you please
Right.
ask him to be quiet?
Right.
That's the way someone who handles people well would handle things. Okay? They're not bullies about it.
Chris Christie's a bully.
And he tries to bully Ramaswamy 3 or 4 times in here. And the only ass he kisses is Nikki Haley. And the reason that he's doing that is because Nikki Haley is the only one he has a shot at getting on his side. And you know the old phrase, my enemy's enemy is my friend? That's what he's trying to do with Nikki Haley at this
Right.
point. He's trying to create some sort of a connection. Sorry. Hey, go by Kerry. This is my cat again. You know him. You met Brooklyn. This is my gun. Anyway, this is my laser gun. Yeah, he's trying to pull. He needs somebody to hold his back up. Let's put it that way. And he tries to get Nikki Haley because he thinks she's the weakest of the group. In his mind, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's a chauvinist. All right.
Yeah.
He's an anti-feminist
Yeah.
chauvinist because he believes that because she's a woman, she has the most pliable personality to bring him over to her. So in other words, she's a woman. She needs security. So if him and her have the same issues, they're going to join forces.
Right.
This is what he thinks.
Right.
He knows DeSantis is never going to join his forces.
The sad part is, if you look up anything about Nikki Haley, she is corrupt.
Oh, she's beyond. She's China. China's her big thing. That's her big freaking pet. Anyway, my cat really loves Kerry, by the way. All my animals do. It's really weird because they don't really like people generally. Like
I don't
they
get
like
to sit
someone
home,
else.
so I have to,
Anyway, yeah, no, really. So, and he knows there's no way he can get Ramaswamy. So
Right.
DeSantis and Ramaswamy are out. So there's only one person left, and that's Nikki Haley. So
Right.
he's going to do everything he can in this debate
And you know what I
to
get?
try to get her sweet onto his side.
You know what I don't like is that they all say the man should be up there, meaning Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to prove anything up there. He was
First of all-
president for 4 years.
First of all, think about what balls it takes for someone to sit home while they know 4 people are going to go on stage and do nothing but badmouth them.
And that's what they did.
Think about that. Could you sit home and watch 4 people insult you and not want to get on the phone and jump
And
into
say
it?
something, right?
Could you do that?
No.
I mean, think about what personal confidence that must take
Right.
to know that,
Right.
to know so well that what
Right.
they're saying is lies that you don't even care.
Let me tell you, if that was me. If I was up there on them,
Forget
what
it.
would I do to them?
I beat the crap out of most of them for talking about me like that.
Right.
Okay, let's get back to it now.
That's insane.
This man is spewing. This man is spewing nonsense.
Let me say something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America.
Oh, wait. So you just insulted the man like that?
Yeah. You
I
see?
thought you were too good for that.
See? You see?
I thought you
That's
were too
a
good
bull.
for that.
He just called him the most
So-
obnoxious person in the
Now-
United States.
Now, later on, Ramaswamy tells him to go have a nice meal and get out of the race. And for some reason, people had a problem with that. But this man calling him the most obnoxious person in the United States was perfectly okay. Also calling him Chat GPT in the last
Right.
debate, that was okay. So as long as he does it, it's okay. Wow, sounds an awful lot like what they say about Trump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like what they say about him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it again.
Yeah, listen to this boy.
Let's hear the rest of this now.
I'm gonna respond to that. I want to
Chris,
say
your
something.
version
No,
of- we're gonna
I
let you
wanna say-
respond to that. We're gonna let you
after the
respond to
main
that.
bit,
Let him
I'll take
finish.
I want to say something else. We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence,
No, he didn't.
not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions.
Wow, does it sound like somebody's looking for a date or what?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He didn't, Ramaswamy
He
denied.
did not say
insulted.
anything about her intelligence.
He talked about the facts.
He talked about her connection to China. That's it. Now, how that implies intelligence or doesn't imply intelligence, I can't tell you.
That's not an insult.
Okay, so
Right.
I mean, but doesn't it
The man is
sound?
only telling facts.
Doesn't sound like the guy at the party who sees a decent-looking woman and goes over and starts complimenting her on everything.
And it's
Okay, because he wants to go home with her later that
That's
night.
what he sounds like.
This is what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it so that they're in connection with each other against Trump.
Right.
All right, watch, come on, bro. You're in my way. I can't control this, man. I'm out of control, man. Anyway.
Catch
She
that.
wouldn't be able to find
Yeah.
something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in the Republican primary.
Oh, I see. So that matters. How long you've been voting in primaries matters. How long you've been voting makes you a better or worse president. I don't
You
know.
hear this
I
man
thought
talk-
intelligence did it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Intelligence and facts, you learn.
Yeah, I thought intelligence made you, a better or worse president. I didn't realize that, if you voted for 40 years, you'd be a better president than if you only voted 20. I didn't know that. That's something that just kind of like,
Yeah, really.
doesn't make sense to me. So remember before what I said, you got to remember something. What did I say before? I said that he was trying to get the over on Ramaswamy by playing the senior and treating him like a kid.
And that's what he's doing.
What did he just do right now? What did he just do?
He did it.
He did, and it's funny because Reagan did something similar to, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy turned around and pointed out that how old Reagan was. Reagan turns around and goes, well, in all good conscience, I can't, make his lack of experience a bad thing for him or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact phrase.
Right.
But this guy, he's doing exactly what I just told you. He's trying to make Ramaswamy seem like a kid. So you turn around and you go, I can't vote for him. He doesn't have the experience. Chris Christie told me that. Yeah, Chris Christie's a liar. Okay, Chris Christie has no business being on that stage.
He's only got 3%.
I'm going to ask you something right now. So
He shouldn't even be up there.
So what I did was I only took Chris Christie's parts, okay, but I didn't leave anything out up until now, whatever the timing is. What did he say he stood for? What did he say he stood for? Did he say that he was against China? He didn't say that at all.
No.
Did he say he was what he was going to do?
Thomas?
Wait, what did he say? What he was going to do about inflation?
Right.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
Did he say what
About
he was
the
going to do
energy?
about immigrants? No.
Like the border?
And,
Nothing.
but you sure as hell know he doesn't like Trump, don't you? You sure as hell know that, don't you?
That's what he's in it for. So that you listen to him for the next how many weeks?
That's all it is.
And you're going to go, oh,
his
yeah,
whole
Trump's
thing-
a bad man.
He doesn't even, it's not even about getting somebody else in there. because he doesn't care.
You don't care.
He does not care about the United States or what runs it. He just cares that Donald Trump doesn't.
Right.
That's what it is.
I mean, you know what the scary part too? You got our president now who don't know what country he's in, no land he's in.
He has no idea.
And he says he's only running because they don't want Trump to win.
He went to Ireland, and a week after he got back from Ireland, a reporter said, "What was the last trip you took?" And he couldn't remember.
He couldn't remember.
He couldn't remember. It took a little girl to turn around and say, "Wasn't that Ireland?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it was Ireland. Yeah."
Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to this now.
All right. And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman, and you should stop insulting
So
her.
I'm going to take this.
Oh, look at her face. Look at that face. Can you see that? Oh, Chris. Oh,
Thank you.
I'll go to the prom with you. Absolutely. Oh, yes. And look at her eyes down. Look at her bending her eyes. That's the lying face, by the way.
I remember Swami never insulted her. He just told her about the facts.
There's her lying face right there. If you want a good look at it, you can adjust it a little bit with the eyes a little bit more open. Like, this is her lying face that's being like humble, like, oh, gee. But she still knows it's a lie because she knows he never insulted her intelligence. What he said was, and a lot of people don't know. Hey, a great example. Just recently, there was a guy in the street, and his lady had a sign up, and she kept yelling, "From the river to the sea, from the river to the sea." The guy said, "What river? What sea?" She goes,
You don't know
she
it.
had no idea. The guy goes, "You dumb fuck. You don't even know what you're protesting." And it's true. She doesn't. Anyway, all right, so let's get back to this now.
That's another good one.
Take a good look at her face, because that's the lying face you'll see. Whenever you see that, she's lying, okay? Or she's involved in a lie somehow.
I'm going to take several times.
Maybe I do look at her history.
So first of all, I think we just learned something from Chris Christie. We learned three things. We learned three things right there. First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he
Exactly.
actually wants us to fight for.
That's so true. That's so true. I would guarantee you
Right.
that he can't answer that question.
Right.
The three provinces that they're willing to go fight for. That's so true. And the sick part is, if Christie was smart, if Christie was really smart, understood trajectory, he would have known that Ramaswamy was going to go that way. And he would have had somebody check out those. He would have had all the information going on that.
That's right.
Idiots. Okay, let's get back to it.
And look at
Chris,
it.
your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, what did I
everybody
just
a
say?
favor,
What
just
did I
knock
just say?
yourself off that
His
stage.
foreign policy. His full foreign policy experience. Now, what did I just say?
And you know what? He closed the bridge.
He closed the bridge from New Jersey. Yeah, exactly.
And he was under investigation for that.
Okay.
If anybody wants to know about that.
He's an idiot. Okay, so.
Enjoy a nice meal and get the hell out of this
Yeah,
race.
Hey, he did enjoy a nice meal. People actually have a problem
If you're
with
going to
things.
actually send your sons and daughters to go
While
die
you
in somebody
weren't
else's
voting-
war,
Hold on.
While
you
you
better,
weren't
excuse
voting-
me, Chris, I'm speaking, and I'm not done yet.
Well,
You
actually,
had your
before,
chance
it was
when you
okay
wanted
for
to
them to
be
fill in
done.
that.
So listen up to this, is if these people want to send your sons and daughters to go die in Ukraine, they've been arguing for it for a
They should
year.
at least know where to send
$200
them.
billion of our taxpayer money sent over. Neither of them could even name for you the provinces that they actually want to protect. And this is the people who have been touting their so-called foreign policy
Right.
experience. It is intellectual fraud.
Right. Exactly. Perfect word. Fraud.
That's
Perfect.
right. And that's what Christie is, and that's what Nikki Haley is, and DeSantis has no clue on foreign policies. So people, this is what you have to look forward to, look for in 24.
All right. You know what, dude? I did want to stop here. I did want to stop. I don't even want to go any further with this because I'm just kind of done with Christie. I can't look at him again.
Right.
And
There
I
you have it,
just want to
people.
smoke a joint and get myself back into the.
Because Chris
Okay.
Christie, all he's in there just to be a bully.
But you know what? Okay, so I'm going to stop with that. I mean, I guess if you want, we could try to do a little bit more. I just got to find it and whatnot. Now, let's see. Okay. Well,
Did
no,
you know there's a
we'll just leave it be. All right, so let's get rid of this now. We're going to get this out of here. I don't know how to get this out of here.
But all you gotta do, people, go out there and vote in 24. But pay attention. Do your homework first. Don't listen to these people. I mean, like my brother here said, you don't have to listen to us. Go to the facts. Go to Google.
But
Look everything up. It's all there.
on a serious note, I'm not kidding when I say this, okay? If you guys have like with the holidays coming around, everybody kind of like has to watch their diets and stuff like that. Diets don't work, okay? I'm only saying this because I went into something before, and I think I should just expand on it a little bit. because some of you guys might actually be able to use it. And if you can, great. If it's not something that's for you, it's not. Again, it's not an insult. It's just a helpful tip. Diets, diets don't work because you can't change your entire lifestyle. Okay, you could do it temporarily, but eventually your environment will dictate what's available to you. It's just that way. You know, like if you went on a diet that demanded lion's mane mushrooms, okay, and you can't get them in your area, it doesn't help. Okay, so you may be able to get enough that you could freeze them or whatever, but eventually you got to get back to life, to your normal life, which is where you work, and you can't change that neighborhood and stuff, and generally you won't be able to find the food you need that's on a specific diet. So what I suggest, and I find this worked a lot with my clients, what I said to Chris Christie out there was absolutely correct. When you go to eat, make your plate. Take another plate that's empty.
You're right. That's right.
Take 1/3 of everything off your plate, move it over to that other plate. Eat the first plate, okay? Wait 10 minutes. Now, in that 10-minute time, a couple of things happen, okay? One is your body gets the cessation idea that it's full, okay? That happens. And in some cases, you won't be full, okay? The other thing that happens is the food gets colder, and it's not as good, so it's not as appetizing. So you may turn around like mashed potatoes that are cold. You may not like that, So,
right.
And the other thing is if you want in between
mashed potato man's right. They're not good cold.
And this is the third thing I would tell you is never drink with your meal. And the reason behind that is your body produces a certain amount of acid to break down that meal. And when you drink with that, especially if it has sugar in it, sugar can double the digestive time. Especially if it has sugar in it. When you drink with it, it dilutes the acid. Sugar nullifies the acid.
Right.
What's the word I'm looking for? Where it wipes it out. Yeah, no, it's just another word.
Okay.
Nullified is a good word, I guess. But there's another word. And so when you do that, your food isn't digesting as quickly as it should. Eat your food before you drink anything.
What, like 10 minutes or so afterwards?
Yeah, you can even do it especially if you have breads or something like that, you can do it right after because all of that acid that's in your stomach got absorbed into the food now. So if you throw water down there, it's not going to dilute the acid and reduce its property to break down the food. So your food will break down better and it'll pass through your system easier and you will lose weight. There's no two ways about it. Now, if you follow that formula, stop and think for 1 second of taking 1/3 of everything off your plate, you've literally eradicated one full meal for the day.
Yeah.
That one full meal is probably about 1,000 calories. So if you could do that over a month, now you're talking about 30,000 calories. 3,000 calories. What am I saying? God, I got to stop smoking that weed. Anyway, so now you're talking about 3,000 calories over a month, which would translate into a significant amount of weight. And again, it's not a killer diet that you can't do. The whole thing about it is you're going to eat exactly what you eat, and you're going to be just as satisfied. So, like example, you want to have a Twinkie. I mean, I don't like Twinkies personally, but instead of having a whole Twinkie, just have half.
Right.
Just have 2/3.
It's called moderation.
Anything that you leave off of that Twinkie is calories you saved. And at the same token, your body's not going, oh my God, I need chocolate. Oh my God, I need whipped cream. Your body's not doing that. Right. Your body's just going, hey, listen, you gave it to me. I can hold out for a little while. You know what I mean?
It's all moderation.
Yeah, and the other thing is watch your protein intake. That's the only other thing I would tell you, and that's because your body can only break down so much protein in a certain amount of time, and the rest kind of turns to fat. Kind of gets stored and then eventually turns into. It's not really true, and before you correct me, I understand that protein can't turn into fat. That's something entirely different, but it kind of ends up that way. So I'm just trying to make a visual easier. Anyway, so I think who do you want to do next? Who's the next one you want to do? You want to do Ramaswamy on the next one? Or do you want to do Haley?
Yeah. Oh yeah, do Haley.
Okay, so the next one we'll do is Haley. And we're going to do it with Kerry being on remote because I'm dying to try this feature. I got this equipment and I haven't tried it yet, and it's killing me.
Yeah, we'll try it this week. Yeah, definitely.
And I'll have it set up a little better. Like I think I did okay. I'm going to check the show before I put it out there. I think I did okay. I got to see how everything comes out, how all of the YouTube stuff come out. And again, YouTube, if you're watching this, I really am not trying to make any copyright issues or anything like that. From what I understood, transformational content is when you take content and you critique it or you you somehow transform it into a new type of content, which is what I thought I did here. Anyway, if I didn't, you guys will know because the channel will be struck. I hope that doesn't happen because I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass.
Nope.
Guys,
Just trying to
have a
make
great
point.
day. And
Enjoy the day, and today is our Pearl Harbor Day. Let's have our respects to all the service.
and we're here to pump you up. Have a great
Be
day,
safe.
guys.
Watch out for Christmas, Shaq.